Hello and welcome. I'm Andrew Catchpole, editor of Harpers Wine and Spirit. And joining me today is Brice Eymard, who is MD at the CIVP, more popularly known in the UK as Vins de Provence. Can't have escaped anyone in the trade that Provence, and more specifically its alluring, pale and refreshing rosés, have been a big success story, driving one of the few wine categories to grow in recent years. Today, we're going to discuss how Provence Rosé got to where it's at and what is to come next. So, Brice, good to see you. Where, just for our audience, are you sitting at the moment?
Yeah, it looks like I'm in the vineyard in front of the sea, but I'm at my office, unfortunately. So it's not the same landscape. And hi, everyone.
Well, great. I mean, at least the backdrop I realized, but it gives us a taster of what perhaps we're all missing in our offices. But anyway, so my first question for you, Brice, is what have been the main turning points for the region in 2022? So sort of key achievements and challenges.
Yeah, the year 2022 is not so easy, but for everyone anyway, because of the international situation, and unfortunately each year is a new nightmare, in fact. And but for Provence, the things go quite well. As you just said, we are the leader for the premium rosé category. We are not a leader in volume anyway, because we represent only 4 to 5% of the rosé world production. But we are a leader with the image of rosé and as we said, the reference, in fact, for the rosé, because it's our specialty and for many years. So of course, when you think about Provence, you think about rosé. And what we try to do now is to improve our exports, because 15 years ago, nearly only French people used to drink rosé, and now more and more other countries drink rosé. And I think the main information is that our exports are increasing continuously for the past 10 years. And UK is a very special market for us because it's the biggest increase for the past three or 4 years. And for us, our production is approximately 170 million bottles. And of course, it's 91% of rosé. It's our specialty. And the exports represent 42%. But the UK, it's 14 million bottles. It represents almost 22% of our production, of our exportations. It's the second market for us, and it's a very important market with the US. But 5 years ago, it was less than that. The market has doubled in 3 or 4 years. So our goal is to continue to grow at the export, and especially in the UK.
So that's phenomenal growth by any standards. And it's intriguing, I think, just to add to that, when you talked about, I think you said sort of 4 to 5% of global production, but really the kind of benchmark, if you like. And it's been very interesting in my travels around the world in the tasting rooms to see that other countries are aping or mimicking the Provence rosé style, especially that sort of pale color, that very attractive, pretty look to the wine, and the overall sort of style of the wines, which is really fascinating. How has all this happened, and how has sustainability and wine tourism fed into us? What combination of factors have been driving this remarkable export growth and interest?
Yeah, it's several things anyway. In fact, the first one is more from the markets. It's the evolution of the society and the new consumers, especially the millennial generation, because they changed their way of consumption, and now they consume with less meal and with a more destructured meal, and they are looking for I think different drinks and more adapted to that, and so they want easy but also authentic drinks, in fact. And for us, it's an opportunity because rosé is in this trend, and Provence rosé has a big recognition for that. But then why we succeed, I think it's because also we can produce this kind of rosé. Because the producer from Provence, they want to produce a good rosé for many, many years. Even when nobody wanted to drink rosé 20, 25 years ago, only in France, our producers, they wanted to produce the best rosé they can. And so I think they managed to do it and to produce a very good rosé and a premium rosé. And as you said, the new issue is the environment and sustainable production. It's very important for the planet, of course, but also very important for us, for our image. And we have launched a program named EnviProv. So it's a French acronym, and I'm sorry, it's an environmental Provence, and it's a program to structure, in fact, the transition to agroecology in the vineyard. And we do it with all the other technical organisms in Provence, Chambre d'Agriculture, the Rosé Research Center, the Producteur Syndicate. And we have 3 parts. The first one is a life cycle analysis. It's a kind of carbon footprint analysis, but it's bigger. We analyze 16 different criteria. Carbon is one, but you also have the azote, the energy, and the biodiversity. The second part of the project is the environmental certification. So we accompany all the winemakers to go to organic wines or HVE wines. And the third part, which is very important, is to change the practice with with the information given by the life cycle analysis. We have to change the practice in the vineyard or in the winery or on the bottle to reduce our impact, in fact, and to have best practices. So our goals is to convert 100% of the vineyard before 2030, and to change the practices from between 223 and 230.
30. So that's remarkable goals to go for 100%, and I understand that obviously you're already well on that path, or the producers are well on that path, and
yeah,
that's
yes, we have 50 right now. We have, I think, almost 55% of the area converted in organic or HVE.
That's fantastic. And of course, you know, it goes almost without saying, we talked about, especially younger generations of consumers, this is something which it's important across all generations, but this is something which younger consumers are very specifically looking for now. They want to know how their wine has been produced and what impact it's had on the environment, on the planet. So that's great. The other one I wanted to ask about was wine tourism as well, because I understand that wine tourism has played again another important part in raising the profile and understanding of Provence rosé.
Yeah, yes, because we are a very touristic area in Provence, of course. I think it's the second biggest in France after Paris, of course. And so we have lots of tourists, and it's a very good opportunity for us, because there are tourists from everywhere, from France, but also from the US, UK, Belgium, Netherlands. And so for us, it's in fact, it's our first communication. It's the first contact between the consumer and our product, and in Provence. So it's very different than at home, in fact. So they can understand the product in its area of production, and so hopefully the area of production is beautiful. And so with all the wineries, we develop the œnotourism. So they develop more and more different offers. It's not only a wine shop. In fact, now you have lots of activities. You can do bike, you can sleep, you can have dinner, you can have lunch, you can do some walking or other natural activities. And what we try to do is to structure that and to have the good communication at the good place for the tourism. And we have created an application on the mobile phone where you can find all the offer, almost 600 different offers from wineries, but also from wine shops or from restaurants and or museum or tourism office linked to the wine. And it's geolocalized. So when you have the application, you can find an activity around you, and also the schedules and information about the winemaker and the producer. So we try to do our part because there are lots of different organisms for tourism, and so it's a partnership with them to make the œnotourism one of the most important activities during the trip.
That's fantastic. I love it. So it's geolocated. You can plug it into your phone, and it just lets you know what's going on around you. I mean, what a fantastic resource. Just for those listening in and watching, what's the app actually called? How can we direct them towards it?
So sorry, what the?
I was asking what the app was actually.
Sorry, the name.
Yeah,
of the
how they find it in the app store. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the application is in 2 languages, French and English, but the name is in French. Destination Vins de Provence. Maybe so. Maybe it's not the most simple for the English, but Destination Vins de Provence, you can find it in a Play Store or Apple Store.
Yeah, fantastic. So I think it's very simple. Destination Vins de Provence. I mean, it does what it says on the tin, as it were, as we say in England. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got that coming up. What else do you have coming up? Are there any events that we can look forward to? Any other projects or strategies?
Yeah, we have a new strategic plan for 2022-2024 to improve this positioning as the premium rosé. So we'll have a new campaign for advertising. And a new strategy, digital development, and lots of things in the strategy. But maybe the first one and the most important is a new event, a tasting event in Provence. In fact, we didn't have any event like that, professional event in Provence, and we wanted to create one event with the 3 appellations, lots of winemakers, and which can meet wine professionals. So we launched the first edition of Vins de Provence Experiences. It is the name of the event. It's the 27th and 28th of February in Marseille at Le Palais du Faro, the Faro Palace.
Yep.
And we will present 200 different exhibitors, winemakers, producers, negociants, but also masterclass. There will be also a night party, a special dinner, in fact, in a special place in Marseille. And our goal is to attract wine professionals from everywhere, France and international. And so they will have access to a large offer from Provence, and also have a special experience of Provence, even if it's in February. It would be good to do it in May or June, but for the business, it's not so good. So we will do it in February, but it will be in Marseille, and they will have a small taste of Provence with the place, with the wine, with the dinner, with the meal, and all the master classes we will make. And it's in front of the sea in a very beautiful place. So I hope we'll have lots of wine professionals from UK in this event.
I'm sure you will. I'm rewinding all the way back to the beginning when we were talking about the excitement around Provence rosés and the success and also the development that's going on within the category.
Yeah.
And I mean, for those who don't know it, I've been lucky enough to be there a couple of times. Marseille is obviously a fantastic city. I imagine that would be very popular, and also the kind of go-to benchmark for rosé wines, which is great. Well, fantastic. Brice, is there anything else that you want to add?
Oh no, I think it's a bit, it's large anyway. So for me, it's okay. We have lots of other projects, but it would be too long.
Almost too much going on. So I think we've cut to the core, and I think that the Vin de Provence experience in Marseille is the exciting one to look forward to this coming February. So that's fantastic. Well, it's been a real pleasure speaking with you. Hopefully, may see you in February, and otherwise, thank you for tuning in and listening as well. So
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Brice, real pleasure. Thank you very much.
Bye. Thank you.